Live from the LeClaire Studios, this...
Did you want an applause?
You said your own last name. Get over it.
Boo. Live from the LeClaire Studios in Bellevue, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends who, just like the skins from the hit movie Skin, are not wearing clothes and have exceptionally large penises.
Except for one of us.
Welcome to the Spacecast. Well, hey, hi, hello, welcome back to the Podworms Spacecast. So excited to have you with us again for another exciting episode. Let me introduce to you the guys I'm joined with today. We've got one half of the Deadly Brother duo, Mike McCoy.
Deadly Brother Rocco.
And his deadly brother, Kevin McCoy.
To the Deadly Brother Rocco.
We have our local historian, it's Pervy Pete.
Coming at you from a window near you.
And his little buddy, Jim Charters.
I'm very happy to be here today.
And I am your host, Andrew LeClaire of the LeClaire Studios that we're sitting in here today. We don't have our homecoming king Chase. We don't have the bad boy of Bothell Phil.
No.
But we don't need him, frankly. And I hope that this stays in this room. But we don't need him, right? This is the core 5.
I hope they never come back.
Yeah, I hope we're not recording this.
Maybe Fab 5.
Sure, that works too.
It's better.
We have a great episode coming up for you today. We have some pod mail. Mike has his first official installment of Mike's Critter Corner. We have a lot of corners that are occupied, but there's always room for another.
We're in an octagon.
It's at least an octagon.
Yep.
And we're going to end the episode with a fan favorite game.
Oh.
Ooh.
You're not going to believe it.
What is it?
NSRG.
No fucking way!
Yep.
I love that all of our games are fan favorites.
Well, the fans love them.
No,
mean,
there
what
are
are we
a
gonna
couple. There are a couple that are not fan favorites.
What do you want me to do? Lie to the people and tell them they're not fan favorites?
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Historical Truth or Dare?
Fan favorite.
Fan favorite.
easily. What was that one you guys did in episode 1
I was trying to think of it.
with the
That
poem?
was This Day in History.
This Day in History?
Fan favorite.
Not a fan favorite.
I mean,
No.
there's got to be at least one fan out there. Maybe one of our gold members.
No, I've talked to them all.
Okay.
Okay.
By the way, gold members, you guys get your cards in the mail yet? I shipped them out about last week, and so hopefully they'll be seeing those show up. They have the gold embossed Podworms logo on them.
And you should be getting a better parking space.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I took out the handicap spots and put the gold member spots.
kicked out.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, we just moved them a little. It's
this
first.
is further down.
This is further down.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Peter. Really appreciate that feedback on the show. Before we get to our pod mail, I've had some food problems recently.
No, no.
Oh, did you find out that you bought $400 worth of rat steak?
No.
What, did it get downgraded to rat steak? It's not rat steak.
It was rat steak.
It was meat at one point from a cow.
Yeah,
maybe.
It just
Rat cow.
Maybe a cow, maybe a kangaroo,
Maybe a hybrid.
maybe a boar.
it sat in a van for 6 months, but that's no big deal. They had a freezer.
You know, I'm not going to defend it. I mean, it's gross.
Look, I'm not here to berate you about your steak. I made a big mistake today.
Oh,
And
great steak.
Today?
this wasn't the first time I've done this, and I should have learned from the first time. But I'm just kind of watching what I'm eating these days. And I'm eating just low carb food, right? Like just
Right.
staying away from all the carby, nasty stuff in this world because you
Right.
know what? Who needs it? It's just making you feel bad. It's making you feel sluggish. I'm just staying away from it. But here's the thing. What you might not notice is that a lot of the delicious foods in this world have carbs in them.
Yeah, a lot
Right.
of them.
And that's a tough thing. When you're looking for something delicious, you realize you can't have a carb thing. Well, here's what's great is that there's manufacturers out there that have taken your favorite treats and made them low carb so you can still enjoy them.
Oh, thank God.
Well, here's the catch. There are what you call sugar alcohols, which are basically sugar substitutes. like stevia, for example, is one a lot of people know about.
Stevia
Stevia
isn't stevia actually just a natural sweetener?
it is, right? It's so there's really no. It's of the fake sugars you can have. It's one of the better ones you can have.
Because it comes from a real thing.
Yeah, it comes from like a plant or
Except
something.
for the stevia plant.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, cool.
Okay. Hey, Science Mike is on the scene.
Yep.
So that's a good one. But then some bad ones. You have xylitol,
Yeah.
not super great. But worse than that, at least as far as I'm aware, is maltitol. And I don't know what's necessarily bad about it, except for the fact that it just it does something bad to your tummy. And I a few months ago, maybe it's been even a year now, that we were doing a low carb diet, and we had gotten some brownies from this company that makes food for diabetics, because diabetics can't have sugar because of their insulin and all that kind of stuff. And so we're like, oh, this is perfect. I love brownies. And we're having them like, oh man, these are way better than any other brownies we've ever tried to make. Like, this is fucking low carb. This is great. And I didn't draw the correlation right away, but the rest of that day, and I, not to put Emily on blast here, but we were both farting the entire day to the point where we were actually getting upset with each other, where it started out being really funny, where it's just like, classic, like, oh, ripping ass. Oh, this is a good old time.
What a great day we're having.
Like, wow, this sure is a lot of fun.
I'll have another brownie.
But we did not know that was the reason. But towards the end of the day, it was like, after one of us farted, it was like, you gotta fucking stop. Like, take that shit to the bathroom and get out of my face. It was like that bad. It went from being like, haha, funny to that has to stop immediately.
Who are we?
What have we become?
I love that you're not sympathetic too, because you're both doing it.
Yeah.
But you're mad at the other person
Yeah.
for doing exactly what you're doing.
It turned into just a terrible, terrible situation. And that caused me to look up. I'm like, man, what have we eaten that's causing this problem? And I looked up the maltitol, and there's just countless people online saying that they took too much by accident, and it's just they're shitting their pants all day as a result. And so now I pay really good attention and avoid it, because I don't want to go through that again.
No.
Well, so I thought until today. And again, I didn't have the correlation right away. Is that I just
Did the food taste extra good too?
it did taste really good. So again, I mean, and you have to understand, I have the power of hindsight now, putting the pieces together. But in the moment,
That's your power?
it's a power. And in the moment, I was just thinking, oh, this is really great. Tastes really good. Glad I found this low carb treat, like basically a protein bar. And my stomach just kind of get a little bit gurgly. I just went to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom at work. We talked about here in the show. I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah, you go to the bathroom.
You go to
Sure.
the bathroom at
You're a
work.
proud bathroom
And
worker.
then I left the bathroom, came back to my desk, and about 10 minutes later, felt that gurgly feeling again. Wow, something's really going on here. I've made probably 4 more trips to the bathroom by the end of the day. It got to the point where I was thinking, okay, now it takes me about 45 minutes to get home minimum. Can I make it if I don't go right again before I leave? So I decided to play on the safe side and went to the bathroom again before leaving work. But and then I pulled the wrapper out of the trash can, and I'm like, okay, let's take a look here to see what's going on. And then sure enough, maltitol was the primary sugar in the bar. And so I'm still suffering from it at this very moment.
And I'll let the listeners know that Andrew did not let me in on any of this information before he traveled all the way downtown to meet me to drive with me over to his house.
Yeah.
To carpool.
Yeah.
So did I put you in undue distress because you had to ride the link all the way down to my office and then walk to my car?
No. I just, between the link and your car, I just kind of,
Oh, you just let it air out?
yeah, right. Just kind of air it open air.
If you're on the
Right.
link, who's to say where what
who's
came
to say?
from?
Yeah, I mean, that is one of those interesting things where there's been, this is a little bit of a sidebar, but for the last few weeks, there's been a horrible smell of mouse in my office building because it's an old building and they are just pissing and shitting everywhere. And I'm the only person in the office that was smelling it. And I'm like, hey guys, do you guys smell this horrible mouse smell? No, I don't smell anything. hour on the hour, I'm asking the team like, okay, guys, do you smell this fucking horrible mouse smell? I had to move my computer away from where I was sitting because I couldn't even focus on the fucking work I was doing because the smell was so bad.
What does it smell like?
Well, it just smells like being inside a pet store.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow, that's really bad.
Poorly maintained pet store. And then because the issue is that there's a board that separates our feet from the wall because that's where the cords are stored.
Oh, no.
And they go back there and it's like their little mouse superhighway. And so what I did is I grabbed a power drill and I unbolted all of the boards
In your office?
and I swept up all the shit. But I'm like, look at this! Look at this shit! And then after I took the boards out, they're like, oh, wow. Yeah, it smells like shit over here.
What the
Thank you. And so I cleaned all the shit and it smells a lot better now. But just being in Seattle with all the smelly piss smell, I go from smelly piss on the link,
Right.
smelly piss in the streets,
Yeah.
smelly mouse piss in the office. I just have a horrible smelling experience throughout my whole day.
And then you're like, hey, let's just fart all day.
And then I ingest the maltitol and I add to the problem.
That's right.
Who is you should tell your manager to try and get a discount on rent until they fix
Yeah.
that shit.
Tell them to get an office cat or
Do they
something.
not have like a building maintenance person?
They have all of these things, but they just
They
don't.
have an office cat?
They don't. No. Okay. Okay. Touche, Jim.
I was like, sweet.
Jim with his gotcha journalism.
What's its name?
No, but I mean, no one takes the mouse threat as seriously as me, it seems like, which bothers me because I
No,
mean,
that's disturbing.
to be fair,
That is really bad.
horrible. To
You
be
shouldn't be
fair,
working there.
in human history, mice have never caused any problems to humans. So
No,
maybe I was
never, ever.
overreacting.
No.
Wait. Sorry. Maybe as a historian, I missed the mouse portion of history class. But are we going to distinguish between mouse and rat or what?
They can carry similar diseases, right?
Yeah, they're all rodents.
I mean, like mice. Yeah, big fucking deal. It's not like it's going to kill you.
I mean, mice carry...
Are you not like? Are you just touching cords and not washing your hands?
Yeah,
I mean, there's got to be some
Exactly.
people in the office that are doing that.
Just
Yeah.
rubbing your face.
He's
and
like,
hands
oh,
all
whoops,
over
I
your
dropped a
cords.
Frito. Oh, it's still good.
Oh yeah. No, oh,
Meanwhile,
the mice are bold.
the mice are bold.
Yes, we've seen them on the desks eating
What
food
the
off the desk.
Okay, hold on.
much worse than I
Well,
thought.
let's
They are
rewind
bold.
because you were complaining about a mouse smell that
Yes.
only you smelled.
Dude, if you can smell
And
mice there already.
no one in your office was smelling, were the mice visible before people could smell them?
Yeah, but here's
What the fuck?
No, but here's
Okay,
here's
no.
a kicker. Here's a kicker.
And just like, you guys see that mouse, right? They're like, no.
What?
He's right there. No, there's not a mouse there, Andrew. You're crazy.
He's in the middle of a conference room table. There's like mice
mouse
running around the table.
There is 3 mice on the table right now.
The mouse just checks it into the Google Hangout. He's in another office. He's just in there, just eating cheese.
But let me take you back because the most frustrating thing is I'm being gas lit.
Yeah, you
by
are.
my coworkers.
You absolutely
like, oh,
are.
I smell anything. But here's what was even worse was that if I take you back 3 months prior,
Take us there.
I
Take
had
us
this
back.
same smell. Okay. And I was the first person to smell it. And I said, wow, it smells like mouse over here. Again. Oh, no, I don't smell anything. And then I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure there's a mouse smell over here. And so I tell my coworkers to move. I grab my phone and I put a video on and I put my flashlight on. And I basically, because I can't really get down there to get to
Yeah.
see, I take a video, like kind of sticking my arm down there and I video around. And yeah, sure enough, there's a dead fucking mouse.
Oh my God.
Behind the barrier. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, I didn't smell it. And then fast forward 3 months later, I don't smell it. Well, yeah, no shit. You guys can't smell anything.
Wait.
You guys must live in a fucking pet store.
What did you do? Did anybody raise this to like the management?
building
that there are
manager.
just-
Like,
Here's a
literally a lawsuit, like eligible.
Waiting to happen.
I was very much like skeptical because it was like, okay, it's just like smelly mice, like peeing, like not a big deal. But yeah, dead mice are kind of a that's a problem.
So here's a kicker.
Your
Here's the
building
kicker.
is currently
that kicker.
unsafe to work.
So I message our office manager and she's actually working from home that day.
of course she is.
Which you can't do a lot of managing of the office when you're working from home.
She's like, she types back, no, I can't smell it.
That smells fine to me.
It's fine.
But she said that she'd take a look at it in the morning when she came in.
Okay.
And she said that she had some air fresheners behind her desk and she recommended grabbing one of those as kind of a temporary Band-Aid option. But here's the thing. It was not even an air freshener. It was one of those Arm & Hammer things you put inside your fridge. Baking soda. And so I'm smelling the mouse shit. I walk downstairs behind her desk. I grab the thing. I pick it up. I look at it like, yeah, I don't know if this is really going to do anything. I walk back to my desk. I slap it on the wall, sit there. Yeah, no, it's made for an area that's about 2 feet by 2 feet. We're sitting in a huge office. And so I said, no, that's not going to cut it. So I had to take matters in my own hands.
Please go.
This is an
Legitimately,
unbelievable problem.
you should say that you're not going into the office until they deal with that.
No. Bring in 3 cats.
Yeah, just 3.
But here's you thought that was the kicker? I got a kicker to the kicker.
Oh,
kicker,
God.
kicker.
Which is that here I was thinking that I was the only person who took the initiative to rid ourselves of the mouse contagion.
Which is a big deal.
And I'm sweating my ass off. I'm down on my hands and knees drilling away. I'm sweaty.
I literally can't even imagine you doing that.
But where'd you get the drill from?
A guy
from home.
A guy in the office brought in his toolkit because he's like the guy who's like the handyman, the known handyman of the office. And so he had his kit he brought in.
Wait, did you like?
I let him know. Yeah. I said, do you have this? Can you help me get this thing off? He said, yeah, I'll bring my tools from home.
And then he helped you bring it off, and he looked in there and was like, yeah, I don't see anything.
No, he just brought the tools. I took care of everything else.
Andrew was the one who did the
Yeah, so
hard
handy
work.
guy couldn't have
But
cared
so
less.
while I'm doing this, everybody's kind of picking up their laptops and moving out of the office area so I can go kind of clean it up. But I'm taking the boards out, I'm sweeping the mouse shit, and I'm expecting, a call out on Slack, maybe. Okay, give me some recognition, but just in person, just to say, hey, appreciate you dealing with the mouse shit. But it's actually quite the opposite, where most people are kind of just like put off by the whole thing. They're like, yeah, I haven't moved my laptop. Like, it's like, and then,
what
and
the
then
fuck?
they were just kind of like more annoyed that the space was getting disrupted. And so the whole fantasy of, even just an attaboy, like, hey, thanks, buddy. Thanks for taking care of the mouse scourge. It was more like, you have to move my laptop while you're cleaning all the mouse shit. I was getting used to that.
Wow.
Horrible experience.
Dude, if there was
Zero out of
a
10.
single mouse on my floor in my office, it would be a scandal. Just one. A single mouse.
Like, we watched them run through the building.
What the fuck?
What kind of shitty people do you work with?
What trash humans do you live with?
I mean, it's no secret I'm looking for a new job. This is the fucking reason. They could have kept me.
Are these the scum of the earth?
I think they're just mouse people. They live in mouse
Hold up.
filth.
Andrew, do you work with mice?
Wait.
Do you work in an office of just mice?
Andrew, do you work
Wait
at
a second.
Do you work at a lab? Do you work?
Go and see it. It's just it actually is just mice.
and they're all getting up with their tiny laptops like, God, fuck this guy. He's always just, of course there's mice in here.
I don't smell anything.
Jerry died back there 2 weeks ago.
He keeps taking apart our maze. We're never gonna get through it.
It's like that. It's the twist end at the end of the movie where you're just an insane person.
It's a Twilight Zone ending for sure, where
Dude,
we finally believe him. We go to his office, and it's just him and his own desk, and there's mice everywhere.
Yes, that's better.
The mice go to their office manager and they're like, "Hey, so it just really smells like human farts."
Oh, that's the maltitol, yeah.
They find the wrapper.
I love the idea of someone being like, dude, you got to check out the Podworms Spacecast. Like 82 episodes in or 83, whatever it is. You find out that one of the hosts is clinically insane.
That would be a viral podcast, though. Just for that moment. Yeah, so I guess more to come on that, but
How do you attract this shit? I feel like something like this is always happening to you.
I have no idea.
I want to come visit your office and experience this hellhole.
it's amazing. I mean, and the horrible thing is that I cleaned up my area of the office, but I cannot help but walk around the rest of the office and smell the smell. because they're everywhere else,
Do
right?
you think that they're okay with the stench of the mice smell because they're tired of smelling you ripping ass?
I mean, it might be the lesser of two evils, but
You legitimately should say you're working from home until they deal with that.
Because this is a huge issue.
And then not do any work from
there
home.
are plenty of lawyers who would agree with you.
Andrew, I'm
Like-
worried about you as a friend.
Like you have so much
You
leverage.
should not be working in these conditions.
Pro bono, I will represent you.
oh, perfect.
I will come in and meet with whoever you need me to meet with.
Yeah, it is very interesting the lackadaisical approach we've had to the whole mouse infestation in the building, because you literally could probably see one about every day. And I even found in the corner of one of the conference rooms, there is a big hole, probably about 3 inches in diameter, that was first some kind of piping of some kind. There's no piping there anymore. It's just the best, like this is the luxury mouse hole where you're not making yourself, it's already there, and all the insulation from inside, you see it's been kicked out.
Oh my God.
And I'm looking in the corner because I saw a mouse run out of this conference room, and I'm like, oh wow, they must have some little secret hidey hole. It's not fucking secret. It's a 3-inch diameter man-made mouse paradise. And I point out to my office manager, and she's like, oh yeah, wow. Oh, I should get that fixed up, huh? Yeah.
And then she's going to go back home and work from home again.
You're gonna come in the next day and she just put one of those Arm & Hammer.
Does like
in
front of the hole?
I'll do it. No, just next to it to make it smell better.
you're gonna one day meet the CEO of your company, and you're gonna find out that it's just a gigantic rat.
It's a big rat person.
Or 3 rats in a trench coat.
This is the most your life has sounded like an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
And this is also the only, but you should be applauded because this is the exact opposite of what you would have done. Typically, Andrew would have been like,
That's what I was thinking.
There's rats. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to get up and leave. And you would have worked from home. You took the initiative, clean up all the shit.
Yes.
And everyone else was you.
Yeah. He was on his hands and knees drilling the fucking boards
When
out.
he was saying that he's like, I got at a drill and I took the board off and started cleaning. I was like, whoa.
Amazed.
I'm like, who is this attractive handyman?
man?
All right. Like, how is Andrew just not getting fucked all day long at the office, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
you don't want to fuck there.
they're mice.
They're all mice there.
And that's problem number 1.
Wow.
Problem number 2 is that there's mice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to come next. I am going to come and visit you in the office and just take photos of the people that work there and be like,
I mean, feel free. I'll give you guys a tour anytime you want.
Oh, please.
Bring your sniffer.
who would ever work here with all these mice? I know, right?
We have some pod mail.
I love it.
And
Loves it.
this pod mail comes to us from actually a new space fan. Oh. Just kidding. It's Clive again.
Good joke.
You know, as I've said before, Clive is essentially the 8th member of the podcast because frankly, 7 people is not enough to get the job done. Yep. And
Move over, Daniel.
we're not going to compete with the big boys in the space like Joe Rogan, right? NPR.
Why not?
Well, we don't have enough people yet.
Oh, we need more people.
If they throw a competition, I'm showing up.
Yeah. Well, we got 8, including Clive.
How tall do you think Joe Rogan's podcast is accumulatively?
Like with all the members of the podcast combined.
Yeah.
I don't know how tall is Joe Rogan.
He's like 5'8".
All right, 5'8".
Oh, nothing.
We got that beat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, plus Clive, we're easily like, what, 40 feet worth of
Yeah,
podcast?
at least.
Yeah.
40 feet worth of dick.
Okay.
Okay, Peter. Wow.
That's,
all right.
Perfect.
No, right. Who was thinking? Nobody was
I didn't know Peter's working blue these days.
Neither did I.
Petey the perv.
Yeah, that's P the perv coming out again.
Okay, I prefer Pervy Pete.
So Clive writes us because a few episodes ago we addressed one of his pod mails where he was telling us about his driving. Like his mom was driving him crazy.
Yes, that's right.
Right? Because he was driving his mom around. She refused to learn how to drive, and he keeps crashing their cars into everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
And through that, we revealed that we don't know anything about South Africa.
At all. Yeah.
right, we
At all.
exposed our ignorance, which
I mean-
shocked fans all over the world.
I mean, I had listened to that whole Trevor Noah audiobook, picked up nothing.
Yeah.
Like 0.
So Clive wrote us. He said, it's Clive again. following up yet again on my latest Clive conundrum. This is going to validate all your ridicule, and you're going to judge me even harder for this. But I've had my driver's license for 5 years and my learner's license for 2 years before that.
Okay.
I'm older than you might expect. Well, Clive, I expect you're about 70. So
Are you reading into the shade in that email? Are you adding color to it, or is that like
this is, how it's written.
Oh, okay.
The italics and all.
Yeah, I was like, put it in italics and stuff. Or,
Bold.
Yes, he gave me specific directions per each word.
Okay.
Inflection, volume.
Stage direction.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah.
He gave me a motivation before this whole thing.
It's less like an email and more like a sheet of music.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
And he's
Wow.
the composer. Backing out of our garage involves swinging around a corner of the house, which directly faces the opening of the garage. Every accident I've had in my mother's car is because of that stupid corner. Now, for a couple South African facts. We drive on the left-hand side of the road, just like in Europe.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
Only in Britain.
I had to think about that. We drive on the right-hand side of the road, right? Right.
Just
Just I had to think about it.
But we drive on the left side of the car.
Clive.
Yeah, correct him.
It's only in the UK and in former colonies other than Canada and the United States
Yeah.
that they drive.
So we're talking Australia. We're talking South
Australia,
Africa.
South Africa,
New Zealand.
India. So Europe.
Listen here, Clive. We may not know a lot about South Africa,
Oh my God.
but Europe
Look, there's two things I do. I'm pervy and I know things.
are pervy and I know things.
All right.
That sums it up.
That's
Yeah,
a
it
t-shirt.
sounds about right.
So, plus I do.
I just love that as a
I
t-shirt.
also do know quite a bit about South Africa, but I'll let Clive talk.
Our cars are right-hand drive vehicles.
Okay.
All distances, speed limits, and speedometers are in kilometers.
Okay.
Okay.
They have 11 official languages.
Damn.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
And let me go ahead and I'll just read these off to you because I happen to be very well versed in the African dialect where I can deliver these perfectly. There's English.
Are we
There's
going to have to bleep these?
yes.
All of a sudden,
yes.
the room is tense.
No. There's English, Afrikaans, Ndilebe. You know what? There's no way I'm making it through this list.
No, please continue.
Okay. Pedi, Sotho, Venda, Zosha, Swathi, Sangha, Swana, and Zulu. Oh, see, look at that.
You know what?
Okay,
Not bad.
Not so bad.
Not bad.
Not so
That
bad.
was no problem at all.
Yeah.
Oh, and he said, have fun pronouncing these, Pod Daddy.
Thanks. Had a lot of fun.
Foresight.
That
He
was,
knows everything that we do.
it's like he's here in the conversation without even being here.
Oh my gosh.
He's way ahead of us.
There is no other country in the world that has as many official languages as South Africa. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, that's awesome.
He speaks Zulu and he resides in Peter Maritzburg in the province of KwaZulu Natal.
Okay.
That's a damn good name.
I'm typing this at 3 a.m., so it's hard to think of other stuff to get a handle on South Africa. You probably just need to look up a couple of Trevor Noah's comedy specials.
Hey.
Okay, Jim's already on it.
Oh, dang.
If you need to know anything in particular, let me know and I'll inform you to the best of my ability. It's always a joy to listen to you. Podathun-thuns. Keep squirming. Your boy, Clive.
Thanks, Clive.
Thanks, Clive. That was
Thank you,
great.
Clive. I have a question. Clive, obviously in the United States and many other places, the Podworms Spacecast is the largest, most successful podcast around.
Right.
What is the equivalent in South Africa of the Podworms Spacecast? Can you let us know?
There has to be a directly analogous podcast.
Yeah, there has to be a 7-member podcast in South Africa where all 7 of them are speaking different languages at the same time.
That could very well be.
But do they have an 8th member who actually lives in the United States?
Wow.
That's what it has to be truly
All
analogous.
right, Clive, you've got your assignment.
I want to see Clive lead this podcast. The Podworms, like we're gonna franchise the Podworms Spacecast.
Yes.
And you can have your own Podworms Spacecast, but the first requirement is you need 7 people on the
And
show.
it's Podworm South Africa.
Same gender preferred.
Yeah. If you're a female, you have to have an all-female cast.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
And that's all you need to get
Male, all male, neutral.
Yep, absolutely. We're not going to judge. But there's no franchising fee. So all you have to do is just email us, plspacecast@gmail.com.
We'll give you the rights.
And let us know.
We do charge for content. We also charge for support. So there's no franchising fee. It's open source, but
You're going to get hit with it on the tail end of this.
yeah,
whole-
if you want any of the stuff that we produce for, you're gonna have to pay.
Any
for
of the
it.
games that we do.
Any of the corners that we've come
the
up with.
T-shirts,
Any of
the slogans,
the popular segments.
trademarked.
Any of the intros that Andrew writes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any retellings of Danger Island.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Danger Island. Now that's our most prized IP. We got lawyered up on that right away.
Yeah.
Mike,
Hey,
now you've had some run-ins with creatures before, but
I
never
have.
anything official enough to justify Mike's Creature Corner. But today is a different day.
yeah, we were going with Critter Corner. It could be Creature Feature. I'd accept that as well.
Okay. How about Mike's Critter Corner, Creature Feature?
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, I know that I've talked about life living with creatures around the house before. There was the story. I mean, Kevin's told stories about rats. I've told stories about the Kevin's rats coming to my yard and dying very slowly.
Right.
I offered them over.
Yeah,
I was standing in your backyard with a little pipe, just like playing it.
dance like just knees up in the air. And
You should
dancing.
really take
Yeah.
those skills to Andrew's office and lead the mice out.
Yeah,
Oh my God, we didn't think about that.
we should have.
So simple.
Kevin is the Pied Piper of mice.
That's true.
Yeah, and I've just been having a lot of run-ins with creatures recently, rat included. Actually, mainly it's been birds the past month and a half. Started a while ago. I may have mentioned this on the podcast. I don't specifically remember, but there's one time where we saw like a bunch of birds like flying and swooping down in our backyard, and Gus was like running around our little French bulldog, and he was being so cute, and he was trying to follow and try and catch them. And Julia saw that from the backyard and was like, "Mike, you gotta come over here. It's so cute." And I came over. And we're like, "Oh, look how cute he is!" And he like ran around a corner, and then he came back, and he had a bird in his mouth.
What the
Nice.
And he's kind of a useless. He's the cutest thing ever, but he's pretty useless. So we were like shocked, slightly impressed, and then he dropped the bird, and the bird was like not doing good. And we were
Oh, it
like,
was alive still?
yes.
Oh my God.
And we're like, this turned from like really cute to like, oh fuck, our dog's a murderer. And so this was an emotional time. I'm not someone that's going. I mean, you know me. There's a rat dying in the backyard. I'm just gonna let him die.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna make the process go quicker. Maybe I'll toss him into the green belt while he's still
God
alive.
has a plan for this kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I'm not going to interfere with that.
Sure. You've seen the Bible Man movies.
I have seen the Bible Man movies, and I still believe that they will find Christ's body in an extended warehouse. And I will be judged on that day.
We're holding out for that day.
That's right. So either way, the bird is dying. We don't know what to do. Julia's upset about this. I'm also a little upset, but maybe not as upset. But we're like, okay, well, let's just do something. We put in a shoebox.
Okay.
And we decided to try and drive to the pet hospital that was nearby
All right.
because it was still breathing. And we're like,
What
maybe-
kind of bird is this, by the way?
I don't know what kind of bird.
Like,
but
was it a pretty bird?
Big or small?
it was a baby bird.
Oh my God.
Did Gus get this like out of the air, or was it already in this condition? Do you know?
We didn't see. That's the thing. It's entirely a mystery. He went around a corner, came back, tiny bird in his mouth. No idea.
Did it have all of its feathers?
Yeah, it didn't. It seemed like it couldn't really, like when I was holding it, couldn't really move its legs.
Jesus Christ.
So
Goodness gracious.
So we put it in a box, and we started driving to the vet hospital, and like halfway there, we like opened the box. The bird was no longer moving.
Oh my
Oh,
God. Now you're
no.
just transporting a dead
We were
bird.
just transporting a dead
That's
bird.
a crime.
And so
Can't do that across state lines.
so we decided to turn back. It's like there's no use, this bird is dead. Julia's fairly upset at this point. She had grown connected to this bird and us potentially bringing, some good nature to this bird.
Bringing a bird into your family.
Mm-hmm. And so we get back, and Julia's like upset, so she calls her sister and is like kind of like just venting about the whole thing. Like, this is a big deal. I put the bird on the front doorstep, and I go inside because she's still in the car, like kind of like debriefing and taking a moment. And then when she's still on the phone, she gets out and she starts walking inside, and another bird flies. So we have like that extra door that like the screen door that like flips out.
Yeah.
And we had it propped open. Another bird swoops down directly in front of Julia as she's walking into the front door, hits the glass, and falls directly in front of her.
Oh my goodness.
Did you like fucking like make a deal with Satan recently?
I have no clue. This isn't even new. This is not the story that this is just like
This is backstory?
This is just
This is context?
This is literally just context for what happened today. But either way, so that one was specifically weird because we're trying to save a bird. Bird dies. Bird swoops in and like falls to the ground, and Julia just like in shock, like goes in, closes the door, just can't even handle it. She didn't even tell me until like 20 minutes later.
Oh my God.
And then we went out and looked, and the bird had gotten up and the bird had left. So
I'm sure it's fine.
That bird's fine. We hope.
Sure. Fine.
There's also maybe Jasper got him, but who knows?
Hard to know.
But today I had like a business call at like 11. And so we were kind of like wrapping up stuff, and I was like on my way up because I was going up to my office, and at like 10:58, there's a huge like on the window, like down in our Arizona in our room in the back by the backyard, and I'm like, what is that? I don't know, I don't care. And Julie's like, I think a bird just hit our window. I was like, nah, there's no way. And we both go look. And it's like a big, like almost like a robin or something that is just on the ground near our window, just breathing. And we're like, I don't know what to do about that. Maybe it'll be okay. We've had a bird like come and hit a window, fall, and then get up and just go away, and it's been fine. We hadn't had to think about it. And so we closed the back door so that way Gus, our dog, wouldn't be able to like go out there and fuck with the bird. But like within like 60 seconds, crow swoops down and it gets real gruesome. The crow fucking beheads this bird.
What? You watch this happen?
No.
Well, like we saw the crow come down, and then like I was like halfway up the stairs, and I came back and I like looked and like saw that like we need to like deal with this now, even though I have like a meeting upstairs that's happening. Because the crow is making this problem way worse because there's just bits of bird around.
Oh my God.
And so I had to go out, and I first I took care of the bird body, and then I had to take care of all the bird
Remains.
Leavings.
Is your house built on a bird burial ground?
I think so.
Because there's something cursed going on here.
I don't know. It was just very shocking, and it was very like, nature is terrible and gruesome.
Did you mention the bird, the hanging basket?
Oh, that's right.
what?
Yeah. We have a hanging basket in our front porch as well that like last week we discovered a bird has made a nest in. And so Julie can't water her plant, so she's worried that the plant's going to die because we need to save the bird.
There's 3 little like
tiny eggs in there.
like jelly bean sized eggs.
I think it's from a hummingbird. The little tiny
No,
ones?
it's not a hummingbird. It because we've seen the bird.
Right.
I see it almost every time I leave the house. I like look in there and the bird's just sitting there.
See, that's the only story I knew. But now I know it's just a foreshadowing for some tragedy in the future.
No.
That's going to happen at your house. Those birds are going to die.
Those eggs are not making it
Speaking,
out.
I've never known a crow to behead and
It was fucked up.
because I've seen a seagull do that to a pigeon in Seattle.
Okay.
It's like 2 seagulls swooped down, and it was an adult and a younger seagull, and it just like they fucking tackled a pigeon and just dismembered it in the street. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like this is in like a courtyard with lots of people around.
Oh my
and they're just
God.
like, fuck this pigeon in particular. And then they proceed to eat it. And I was like,
took care of
it.
okay.
That's hardcore.
It was real metal, but that sounds
Well, it was
insane.
just weird because it was like in our backyard, bird hits window. Bird is like struggling. Like it's not dead. It's breathing. It's just struggling, sitting there like on the ground. And then moments later is fucking shredded by a crow.
Maybe they had a beef and you didn't see it and he hit him earlier.
That's true. I mean,
Isn't that just a metaphor for life?
also maybe the crow threw it into the window.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they might have been fighting.
Yeah.
It was foul play.
Yeah, it was.
That's the name of the segment. It's not Critter Corner.
'cause it's only
It's not Creature Feature.
It's exclusively about birds, which I did
Now-
not know.
I do
Kevin.
have a squirrel story, but I mean, we'll save
Oh,
that.
that's the next creature corner.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, there's some fucked up things.
That's a lot.
This is like the inverse situation of Cinderella.
Yep. Nope, I don't understand that.
Or no, who's Snow White? Who's the one that has all the friendly animals help her out?
That's Cinderella.
Snow White.
Both of them?
Is it both?
Well, yeah.
Is
I mean,
both of them?
Snow White. Yeah.
Yeah,
but-
what's your point?
But Cinderella's. Yeah. I mean, like I don't understand. Like, where's he going with this?
It's the opposite of that. They're not helping Mike get dressed.
They're just dying.
They're dying and ruining his life.
Oh.
I mean, it's kind of like what the mouse are doing to you.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do about it?
This is like the Critter episode.
Yeah. This is the creature feature episode. This is the Podworm Spacecast creature feature.
Critter Corner, foul play, also mice. There's a we've all
Dude, that horn's been going off for 30 seconds.
we've all been paused because it's not that a car alarm's going off. It is that someone is
Someone's just holding a horn down.
This is what it
their
sounds like
horn.
when you kill somebody in Grand Theft Auto, and their body flops onto the. Holy shit! Is it still going?
Yeah.
Yes. Should we go out and investigate?
Should we just take a moment of silence? This is our horn segment.
You know what? There's a couple things could have happened. One, a man could have had a heart attack, fallen onto his horn, be dead.
Yeah,
Two, someone could have been shot in their car, fallen onto the horn, dead.
We would have heard
Three,
the gunshot.
A
Bird
bird.
could have flown right into the horn.
Yeah,
Stacked on top.
it's not one of our cars, right? Is
It's
it?
way further down.
Maybe they're trying to record it.
For what?
Oh, that's probably the horn cast.
Oh, yeah, they record right at 9:00.
This is their intro.
Let's go take a look.
All right, are you on the street yet?
Yes. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a photo. I'm gonna have to hang out.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait,
Wait,
All right.
what? You can't.
you can take a photo.
Can you just
can't
tell,
us?
Can you tell us what it
describe
is?
it?
Well, maybe I'll take a video.
Okay, take a video.
Okay, take a video or FaceTime us.
Don't hang up though. What's going on? There's like 4 sirens going on outside now.
So we stopped recording because we heard a horn blaring straight for like a minute.
It's been like 15.
It's been a
It's
while.
probably been 10.
It's probably been 10 minutes.
But we sent Peter out to go investigate. And you just heard him. He just hung up with us to video record. Now we're hearing a bunch of sirens. Are they on our street?
No, they're on the. They're on the.
I mean, are they in our neighborhood?
Yeah, they're in the neighborhood for sure. Yeah.
There's like 3 or
Here,
4
let's
sirens.
listen in.
This is all of a sudden becoming very ominous.
This is weird,
Right?
Because Peter hung up.
Oh,
and he's
yeah, it
not
feels like
called
the
us
end of the
back.
world.
Okay, hang on. We got
Peter's-
live update from Pete.
He's walking through the
man,
door.
Pete's walking back in the
Let's
door.
get his
through the door.
microphone. All right, Pete.
Yeah, we got to capture this.
What's?
We have our reporter on the scene, Peter.
All right. So Pervy Pete coming at you. So I was not expecting what I saw, which was there were so many fucking people walking around on the sidewalks.
Like how many? Ballpark it.
20.
Okay.
Okay.
Holy shit.
This is a residential neighborhood.
Yeah,
like,
there's never that
no
many
one
people.
should be walking. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody walking. in your
It's
neighborhood.
mildly like raining.
It's mildly raining. It's 9:00. It's a Tuesday night. There should be no one out. I'm like, oh, maybe it's this SUV. Their horn must be going off, and people are looking at it. Nope, this SUV is just like driving slowly. Like, oh, it must be looking at something. There's this other car. Like, I'm not the only guy who decided to get in his car and drive slowly past us too.
Oh my God.
I don't know how it got here. It's a car crash. This car, like, I think reversed into a fence or something. And like all the airbags are off and the horn's just going off.
Holy shit.
And I was like, had driven past it by the time I was like, oh, this is like what's going on, to get my phone out to like take photos or get a video. By the time I swing back around, a cop has shown up, got his lights on, and is like moving people out of the way, like get out of the way, get out of the way. And then like we had at least an ambulance and a fire truck come past too.
Did you get footage?
I tried to get a video. Let's see if.
All right, inspect
if
that
we got
video.
anything.
We'll put this on the Instagram.
Is the horn still going off, Mike?
Nope.
No, it's
The horn is off.
Oh no!
I do not know how they got there. Because like there's a hole in the fence.
Yeah, they
Like, there's a
back
hole
through
in the fence next to it. Yet the car is not where the hole is. The car is next to the fence with like the fence splintered all on top of it.
Oh my God. We'll have that on the social media. Are we keeping this in for the show?
I don't know.
I mean, this is like some real.
Investigative
we could cut it
pod
out.
You know what?
journalism.
I'd say give it a shot at editing it. If you can make it entertaining,
Yeah.
it certainly added an air of
All right, hold
mystery
on.
and terror into our.
Let me try and up the stakes. A lot of dead people.
There's bodies
How many
everywhere.
bodies?
How
40.
many bodies?
There were 2 birds.
This is the episode people are going to go back to and be like, this is when the Podworms got real. This was the episode that broke the format.
It's true.
And it had to because there's human life at stake.
That's right.
And, we
That's
learned
the
about
risk we take
the birds,
every time we record.
the mice, the birds, and now we actually brought it back around to humanity.
Yeah.
yeah.
Podworms, space fans, if you have any sad stories of car crashes in your neighborhoods, why don't you send them to PW Spacecast?
Oh, please don't. I don't want.
We'll read them live on the pod.
No. Send them in because the reality is we need to know.
Actually, this is entirely this is full circle. Like we were just talking with Clive about how he. That's right.
Oh shit!
Is
What
that
if
Clive?
that's Clive's equivalent?
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
he's the fan of the.
Of the South African podcast franchise.
Holy shit!
no.
We should go get his number.
We should go rescue him.
or her number.
Well, if you want to franchise a podcast,
Mike, you're married.
If you want to franchise your very own Podworms Spacecast, send us an email, pwspacecast@gmail.com. We'll get to that pesky NSRG next time, all right? Follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Podworms Spacecast. We have a website.
Yeah.
Tell them what it is, Mike. Come on.
It is www.pwspacecast.com.
And what can they find there, Mike?
Oh, they can
Leclerc.
find an about section, a tour section,
Fun surprises.
fun surprises,
Hell
Easter
yeah.
eggs, and probably links to episodes of this podcast.
Oh, tight. Like this episode we're listening to right now.
Yeah, if you go there right now, there will be a link directly to the episode that you are listening to.
All
Whoa.
right. What won't they find there?
They won't find
Disappointment.
or love.
Yep.
Wow.
That can only be found in the club. That's right. That's what I've learned, at least. I don't know. But most importantly, you gotta share the show with a friend. I mean, if you want to share this slice of humanity with someone you love
Slice of real life.
or a construction worker, you gotta just let them know about it.
That's right.
You can find it on all the podcast apps. I mean, you found it and you're a smart person. Why can't they find it? Share it with them,
Yeah.
okay? For me, as a friend.
Oh, also,
Yeah.
the beacon is still open
Yeah.
for any contenders for the ultimate super fan. We're gonna have the ultimate showdown soon.
Soon.
So you gotta choose an email.
Stay tuned to social media.
And if you're already on your phone, you got Google. Tell us if Bob Barker is alive or not. I need to know.
I'm gonna bet that Clive probably doesn't know who Bob Barker is, but Clive is gonna be the one to tell us if Bob
Yeah.
Barker's alive or not.
Yep. It's true. Well,
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong if you.
I can't prove you wrong.
Prove
we'll
me
have
wrong.
to stay tuned for that, and you'll have to stay tuned for more episodes. But until that time, space fans,
Keep squirming.